Ofgem has announced it is launching a consultation on options to protect the energy market after figures from the summer showed that debt reached a record £2.6 billion due to soaring wholesale prices and cost of living pressures on households. The energy regulator said it was considering a one-off increase in the price cap that could see households pay up to £17 a year more, or £1.50 a month, on average, to reduce the risk of energy firms going bust or leaving the market as a result of unrecoverable debt. It warned that if it did not take action, consumers could face even higher costs and poorer standards of service if suppliers collapse due to the debt levels. However, charities have warned that a one-off increase would make bills even more unaffordable for households. Step Change and other charities have called for a Help to Repay scheme to support people struggling with energy debts caused by almost 2 years of sky-high energy bills. They said this should be followed by the introduction of a social energy tariff as soon as possible. While suppliers are not currently at the point where they are at risk of going bust, Ofgem is understood to be considering options to address the issue before it becomes unsustainable. The £2.6 billion figure relates only to debt and arrears and is therefore not offset by credit built up by other customers and held on their accounts. The regulator is consulting the energy industry, consumer groups and the wider public to look at the options. But it said, if approved, any increase to the cap would be delayed until next April to protect consumers from extra costs during the winter. Tim Jarvis, Director General for Markets at Ofgem, said, "We know that households across the country are struggling with wider cost of living challenges, including energy, so any decision to add costs to the price cap is not one we take lightly." However, the scale of unrecoverable debt and the potential risk of suppliers leaving the market or going bust, which passes on even greater costs to households, means we must look at all the regulatory options available to us. Ofgem cannot subsidize energy or force businesses to sell it at a loss, and suppliers must be in a position to offer high-quality services to customers. We must consider the fairest way to maintain a stable energy market, and we will do this in consultation with all our partners to ensure we are protecting the most vulnerable households. Ofgem said that at the height of the energy crisis, when around 30 suppliers went out of business, it charged every energy customer an extra £82 to cover costs to ensure that households were not cut off. It said its latest proposals would have varying impacts on customer bills, depending on payment types. But Citizens Advice Chief Executive Dame Claire Moriarty said any increase in the price cap would make bills even more unaffordable. She said, "Even before winter hits, we're helping more people who can't keep up with their energy bills than ever before." Worryingly, more households are running up energy debts during the warmer months, with some having to borrow money to try and keep the lights on. High energy prices mean millions of people remain at risk of falling behind in the coming months. An increase in the price cap to pay for higher debts will make people's bills even more unaffordable. Any change must be in the best interest of all consumers. For now, the UK government must provide additional bill support this winter for those at most risk. Richard Lane, Director of External Affairs at Step Change Debt Charity, said, "Ofgem's proposals to increase the price cap from April to cover energy debts reinforces the need for the UK government to take action." Step Change, alongside other consumer organisations, has called for a help to repay scheme to support people struggling with energy debts caused by almost 2 years of sky-high energy bills without increasing costs to consumers. This should be followed by the introduction of a social tariff in energy as soon as possible to stop unaffordable energy bills driving debt among struggling households. He added, "We are pleased to see voluntary commitments from the energy industry, which will go some way to support struggling customers and protect vulnerable people from inappropriate enforcement action." National Energy Action Chief Executive Adam Scorer said, "The enormous weight of household energy debt is crushing vulnerable households. Government cannot just look the other way and hope for the best. This is the highest level of energy debt we have seen. It is growing quickly and concentrated in the poorest households. Energy bills are now on average £800 per year higher than they were at the start of the energy crisis." While industry and regulator-led support is welcome, the UK government must put in place additional targeted support and establish a help-to-repay scheme and an enduring social tariff. Get the latest Record Money news. Join the conversation on our Money Saving Scotland Facebook group for energy and money-saving tips, the latest benefits news, consumer help and advice on coping with the cost of living crisis. Sign up to our Record Money newsletter and get the top stories sent to your inbox daily from Monday to Friday, including a special cost of living edition on a Thursday. Sign up here. You can also follow us on X, formerly Twitter, at @recordmoney_ for regular updates throughout the day. David Cheadle, Acting Chief Executive of the Money Advice Trust, the charity that runs National Debtline, said, "With energy debt at a record high, now is the worst possible time to increase bills further, as Ofgem is proposing. Instead, the UK government must step in and act now to help households facing unaffordable debt repayments by introducing a help-to-repay scheme to offer payment matching and write-off. Doing so would help tackle the record levels of energy debt we are now seeing, without the need to increase energy bills for all customers." Ofgem's consultation is open until November 2 and can be viewed online here. Join the Daily Records WhatsApp community here and get the latest news sent straight to your messages.